Hello guys, part 2 of four big what? Time to do another hour. Sorry guys. This is part 2.
Out came out because the sadness character was just really annoying to me. Like, respectfully, why didn't they just get rid of her? Then boom, you have no more sadness. Sorry, anyways, so I liked this girl in my class for 2 whole years, and I was like, alright, I'm done. And I went out to confess it to her. Instead of saying yes or no, she just literally ignored me for 3 whole months. Then she called me while standing with her girl gangster gang, and I ain't gonna lie, if you see a girl with her girl gangster gang, do not approach. It never ends well. Me, confused, went to her, and she just started saying that I'm ugly, I'm stupid. Then she started to beat me with her gang. What? Wait, hold up. Sorry, I was just making sure I read that right. Let's continue. Then she called her older brother and told him that I love her. Then his brother, with 2 of his friends, started hitting me. I ain't reading the rest of this Wattpad story, dog. Let's move on. I was dating a girl. Let's name her Susan. Then there's a new girl in my class, and let's name her Sarah. Sarah was beautiful, so I confessed to her in a piece of paper saying, "Hi, Sarah. I love you and hate Susan. You are the best." What I didn't know is they were besties. So Sarah told Susan about what's going on. Then we broke up. I wish I had that confidence right now to talk to a girl. Yo, I'm gonna be straight up. If you told me this was a message I typed 10 years ago and just completely forgot about, I would genuinely believe you, because this for real sounds like me back when I was in middle school. I've never told you guys this before, but I have something to admit. I actually have had a girlfriend before. Yes, I know, I betrayed your trust. I've always told you guys I didn't, but let me explain. So I was in 7th grade, and me and this girl liked each other. But up to this point in my life, the only girl I was ever able to hold a conversation with was my mother. So even though I liked this girl, I knew I couldn't ask her out. But everyone knew we liked each other. So one day at lunch, our friends tricked us into going into the same room with each other. And when I arrived, both our friend groups are just standing there pressuring me. So I asked the girl, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" She said yes, of course, because, your boys got Riz. What can I say? And that was also the moment I found out what her voice sounded like, because I literally never talked to her before. But then, because I didn't know what to do, I just said, "Cool." And I turned around and left. So the whole time we were dating, I did not talk to her once, because I was still scared to. And we never actually formally broke up. So for all I know, we might still be dating to this day. I should probably text her and find out, actually. Let me do that. Never mind. She has a kid now, so I think we're done. Moving on. Basically, this weird guy in my class brought a machete to school. A machete? To school? Surely he had no bad intentions, right? His friends found it in his bag while looking for a stapler, and those dudes screamed so loud when they found it, and the teacher immediately noticed the huge machete in their hands, and when they questioned the dude about it, he had the audacity to tell the teacher that he accidentally brought it to school. And dude only got suspended for a week, which is crazy, because if I was the school administration, I would expel that fool. Apparently, dude is going to therapy and psych counseling, which is good for him, I guess. Still wonder what would have happened if his friends didn't find it. This story actually makes me angry. This is genuinely unacceptable. This is something that just cannot happen, okay? In no world is it okay for you to snitch on your boy for bringing a machete to school. Yeah, I get it. I understand. The dude brought a machete to school and is probably up to no good with it. But if you're his friends and you see that machete, you just gotta act like nothing happened. Because if you snitch to your teachers and call him out, then were you really ever his friend in the first place? And plus, if he did bring this machete to do something bad, who do you think he's going for first, huh? Probably his ex-friends who snitched on him. The only real question I got about this is, what kind of backpack was homie bringing to school that he could fit a machete in? He must have been walking around with one of these. I remember when I was in school, I played baseball, and I would carry my bag with all my gear in it. Glove, helmet. But the one thing that didn't fit inside my bag was my bat. So I would walk around school carrying it, not thinking anything of it, until a faculty member stopped me one day, and they threatened to give me detention for carrying around a weapon. I didn't realize it at the time, but then I was like, oh, this does kind of look like a weapon, doesn't it? So of course, I apologized and said it wouldn't happen again, and then I actually used it as a weapon and took a swing at her. No, I'm just playing. I did not do that. I don't advocate for that, okay? Yeah. I'm glad the kid in this story is getting help, though, because it sounds like he needs it. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe he just wanted to use that machete to, I don't know, cut his lunch or something. No, that he was definitely using it for something bad. So I was addicted to the small cartons of milk you get at school. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop you right there. I need to figure out who sent this story in and block them on all social medias, because being addicted to the school chocolate milk should be a crime. Sadly, the chocolate milk one was popular, and it was hard to get some. And so, alas, starts the story of how I gambled at lunch. So I I was popular among the other fellow students for trading my lunch for their chocolate milk. Sometimes I would bring cards to make it a fair trade if someone would rather do that instead, or just full on trade my entire lunch. The most I ever drank before lunch period was over was about 45 cartons. No, I'm sorry, that has to be a typo. Because if you truly drank 45 cartons of milk, you would not be here. You would either be A, in the hospital, or probably have some sort of mutation and grow a third arm from whatever the heck they put in that milk. I hope you realize that there is a 0% chance your DNA is the same as before you started drinking all that milk. The one thing I will say, the inside of your body probably looks like Flush Factory now. I am surprised that I stayed such a tiny twig through it all. Though the withdrawal was bad, I'm over it, and chocolate milk is now dangerous for me. Well, I will pray for you, because this is truly a horrible addiction. And also, I'm gonna report you to the FBI. I think that's about the third person on this list I've reported to the FBI. I'm very concerned for you guys. Speaking of things that will make you sick, in my first period, I felt sick. So I went to the sink, but I couldn't make it, so I threw up on my friend. Then I went home. Why did you say this so casually? You threw up on your friend and then left? That's not even a confession. That's a hit and run. You didn't even say sorry in the story. You just exited the situation like, yo, my bad. I'm out though, see ya. Imagine being the friend, or ex-friend, I'm guessing now. But you're standing there, first period, not even fully awake yet. You're still seeing those squiggly things in your eyes from how tired you are. And out of nowhere, bam, you're covered in your homie's Taco Bell from last night. It's kind of cute in a way though. It's almost like how birds feed their kids by regurgitating the food. Except it was your homie doing it. Oh, that's disgusting. I think your friend needed to go home more than you did, because you probably felt better after throwing up, but the pain and agony was just starting for your friend. I'm sure he still gets nightmares about you doing that to him. Personally, my friendship ain't surviving that. What I've learned from all these confessions and the many, many more you guys sent in that I couldn't even put in the video because of how inappropriate and dark they were, is that you guys scare me. Seriously.
Hello?
Whoa. Mama Grogan 85 lives here?
Yep, that's my mom.
The absolute legend you went from gaming.
If you're afraid of the dark, don't be. Because look, there's nothing to be scared of. Watch. See? Wait. As a kid, I did a lot of dumb things that I'm pretty sure we all did growing up. So I'm going to tell you some stories about some of these things I did, including a time when my stupidity brought someone this close to dying. So when I was in school, every classroom had the exact same ceiling tiles, white squares with tiny holes in them. And the second you notice these holes as a kid, your brain doesn't ask what they're for. Your brain decides they're a target, a challenge. Because you can only focus for so long learning about the Revolutionary War before you get bored. So me and my friends created a game. And this is how it would work. We would make paper airplanes, but not the normal ones out of notebook paper because those were too big for what we were trying to do. Instead, we used Post-it notes. Tiny, fast, disposable. You could fold one in the time it took for a teacher to sneeze. But the goal with these paper airplanes wasn't to throw it across the room. The goal was to throw it towards the ceiling and have it wedged into those tiny little holes. So we would wait until the teacher looked away from us and then immediately throw it into the ceiling. We did this any opportunity we got. Teacher turns to write on the board, launch a Post-it note. Teacher bends down to pick up a marker, launch a Post-it note. And when it stuck, you felt like you won the Super Bowl. One time, our teacher turned their head to sneeze, and a student tried flicking it into the ceiling, but they totally misjudged it because it slingshotted straight into the teacher's head. The most fun part about this game was that whenever the teacher saw this Post-it note in the ceiling, she would get furious knowing we were doing this behind her back. And she would always demand for whoever was doing this to admit to it. But since basically the whole class was involved, no one ever snitched. And this game didn't just stay inside one classroom. No, eventually the whole school was doing it. No matter what class you walked into, you could probably find one of these things sticking in the ceiling. All the teachers at the school were starting to get really frustrated with this. So what did they do to fight back? They basically put a bounty out there. Whoever got caught for throwing the Post-it notes at the ceiling would get suspended. Because up to this point, no one had ever been caught for it. The whole school was moving like James Bond. But unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end. And one day, somebody got caught. His name was Noah. And when this happened, the rumor was spreading around school like Paul Revere telling everyone the British are coming. So all the students are getting super nervous. Because at this point, pretty much everyone was involved in doing this. So if Noah snitched on us, was the whole school just gonna get suspended? Well, we never found out the answer to that question because Noah didn't snitch. He didn't say it was a group thing. He didn't say there was others involved. He just took the blame for every single Post-it note around school like he was a Navy SEAL protecting secrets for the government. So he got suspended, and that was it. No one else got punished. I'm pretty sure the school knew there were more students involved than just him because the Post-it notes were literally all over school. But finding everyone who did it would just be too much work. To this day, people from our school still talk about what Noah did to protect all of us. We even started a petition to build a statue for him outside of school. It only got 6 signatures, but hey, I thought that counts. During the same time period, we had another hobby, destroying erasers. But specifically, poking holes in them. You'd be sitting there once again bored out of your mind, so we would take the tip of our pencil and start stabbing the eraser over and over until it looked like one of those Operation board games. No goal. You just keep going until the eraser became useless. Teachers must have watched us do this every day and just thought, I really hope this doesn't lead to them being a serial killer in the future. But to be honest, they've probably seen way worse. Like, they've seen kids eat glue. And when I say kids, I mean me. Don't ask why I did it, because I'll never tell you. Okay, fine. The glue was cold and white like milk, so I thought it would taste like milk too. It didn't. From this point on in my childhood, I only got stupider, because another thing I loved to do as a kid was climbing up the stairs on all fours. I'm pretty sure literally every single one of you watching this video has tried this at least once. And if you haven't, I'm sorry, because it feels awesome. Now you may be thinking, Tyler, what's wrong with doing this as a child? That's not dumb. And you're right. I totally agree with you. But you see, the problem is I didn't stop doing this when I grew up. I actually only stopped doing this recently because of what a dog did to me. So here's what happened. I'm in my college apartment building. The elevator is broken, which it literally always was. And even when it was in service, I wouldn't want to use it because I don't know how to make conversations with people in elevators. And I saw a homeless guy sleeping in there one time. So I'm taking the stairs this day like usual. But I lived on the 8th floor of this building. So walking that many flights of stairs was exhausting. So what I would do is look up and down the staircase. And whenever the coast was clear, I would run up it on all fours, just like back in the day. And I did this for a couple months without anyone ever seeing me until this one specific time where I'm crawling up the stairs and I'm at the spot where you're about to turn. But right as I start to turn, for a split second, I see a dog on a leash being walked by a girl. And the problem is, me and the dog were at the same eye level because I was crawling. So to the dog, I didn't look like a human using the stairs. No, I looked like another animal trying to attack it. So the dog aggressively lunges toward me before this poor girl had any time to react. She didn't even really turn the corner yet, so she had no idea what her dog was even looking at. But since the girl was holding the dog on a leash, when it lunged, she basically got catapulted forward like 5 feet and fell down about 3 stairs. She landed straight on her side. The dog's barking at me, and I freeze on all fours like a possum playing dead, not knowing whether I should stand back up like a normal human or just try to convince the girl that I'm part wolf or something. After about 15 seconds of this poor girl shaking off the fall she just took, she looks at me, understandably furious, and asks why I'm crawling up the stairs like that. And in that moment, I realized there is no explanation that will make me sound sane. There's no sentence that begins with, oh, well, that ends with her being okay with it. So I did the only thing I could think of in this moment. I pretended I didn't speak English. I stared at her like she was speaking in code, and then I went, no hablo inglés. When she realized I couldn't understand her, she just shook her head and kept walking down the stairs with her dog. And I assumed that was the end of it. Embarrassing moment, dog got excited, the girl fell, might have broke her rib. I pretended to be from a different country. We all move on. Except that wasn't the end of it. Because next semester, I walk into my first day of a new class, which meant I had no idea who would be in it yet. And I got to this class pretty late, which meant there was only 2 open seats left. One in the very front row, no thank you, or one about 4 rows back, right next to this blonde girl. I didn't pay much attention to her at first until the teacher said to discuss with the person next to you what you're looking forward to learning in this class. So I turn to my right, and that's when I realize it's the same girl from the dog incident. The moment we made eye contact, it took us about a second before both realizing, wait, this is the person from the staircase. And now, I have a problem, because remember, I already committed to being a non-English speaker in front of her. I can't suddenly be fluent now without exposing that I lied because I was embarrassed. So she gave me a slightly dirty look and then said, I guess I'll go first. And